Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Buddham dhammang sangham namasami. Welcome to this Tuesday night meditation and Dhamma discussion program with the Dhamma Dharini Monastery. I'm joined together with Venerable Vandana, Bhikkhuni Vandana, who's here with us again this week. And I will also give a special call out and welcome to Venerable Dhamma Ruchika, who is joining us online. I published a very ambitious title for this week's Dhamma reflection, and but I don't have a very well organized technical Dhamma talk to go with it. My idea is to gladden the heart for the sake of peace. This practice, or this angle on the path of practice that we've been looking at for the past couple of months, has had many different aspects that contribute towards inner peace, inner tranquility, inner freedom from upset, distress, overcoming hostility, anger, and aversion, and also living and transforming our own psychology in such a way that we are supporting social harmony and peace on earth. It occurs to me that in this middle way taught by the Buddha between sensual craving and self-mortification, this Eightfold Path is very much a path of happiness, the safe kind of happiness, including the happiness of beautiful virtue and generosity, the happiness of the practice of loving kindness, the happiness of coming to meditative tranquility and meditation, and the wonderful happiness of freedom as we go step by step, finding that the attachments and compulsions and obsessions that used to jerk us around are no longer present. The mind is free. With that freedom, the mind is not disturbed. With that lack of disturbance, then we gain the greater and greater levels of peace. During the meditation period, I would welcome you to notice when you let go of the everyday mind and come into the meditation mind. Notice whether that meditation mind is pleasant. And if our state of mind right now, tonight, happens to be difficult because of some kind of distress, then it may be necessary to just be present, relaxed, aware, and alert, compassionately being with what is, whatever arises. But if we're able to emerge from any kind of distress, excitement, or agitation or pain and go fully into meditation, we may find that as the mind withdraws, there is that tremendous uh, release from stress. That seclusion itself is so joyful. Mm. So I invite you to notice that if it happens to come up for you during this meditation. Welcome to come to an upright and balanced posture. Letting go of any excitement or agitation from earlier today. And letting go of any obsessions or plans or thoughts about the future. Deciding to be contented, to just welcome what arises in the pleasant present moment. In the pleasant present moment. Aware of the sensations in the body and progressively relaxing the body. Starting at the top of the head. Aware of any sensations at the top of the head. Relaxing the top of the head. Moving awareness in a circle around the side of the head, like the temples, the back of the head, the temples, and the forehead. And relaxing that. aware of the eyes and the eye sockets, relaxing, aware of the mouth, relaxing, aware of the jaw, relaxing, aware of the neck, relaxing, aware of the shoulders, relaxing, moving awareness down one arm to the hand, to the other hand, and up the other arm, and relaxing, aware of the chest, relaxing, aware of the midriff, relaxing, aware of the belly, relaxing, aware of the hips, relaxing, aware of the upper legs, relaxing, aware of the knees, relaxing, aware of the lower legs, relaxing. Aware of the ankles, relaxing. Aware of the feet, relaxing. Aware of the entire body and relaxing. Aware of the state of mind and relaxing that too. Aware of the whole body. If the breath is noticeable, aware of the rise and fall of the breath. And if the mind is relaxed and fully aware, aware of the whole body, are directed to the breath, aware of the Vedana there, the feeling there, what it's like to be calm, clear, aware. And during the last part of this meditation, bringing in the thought of loving kindness to all, as to oneself, in all directions, and aware of the shifting of the feeling along with that thought of kindness. Dear friends, uh, pamoja is the Pali word for gladdening the mind, which is something that is referring to what comes before the entrance into the deep meditation. So there are so many ways that while we're practicing this middle way, following this training, that there are opportunities to gladden the mind. And it seems to me that it's quite very good to develop this as a kind of a barometer to know whether we've gotten the right end of the stick or if we're taking hold of this training in the right way. If the training is leading us to that happy state, which is very different from the type of sensual craving, which is continuously reaching for the next thing, reaching and wanting, and then experiencing disappointed when one has reached for some kind of gain and then it's always disappointing. Either the thing that we got doesn't last, or else even if it seems to last, if that object seems to last, just the changing of the mind and the heart, just because of impermanence, that uh, happiness that we got from a new toy doesn't really last very long. And so that's not what we're talking about at all. It's something different. Perhaps even starting with generosity, uh, and with both inside and outside, when we are able to be generous and give. It's a different kind of a happiness, isn't it? And if we notice uh, this kind of lovable, uh, delightful, generous ethics in another person, when we're on the receiving end of kindness, or if we see kindness being given, what a different kind of happiness comes along just when we are aware of that, when we notice it carefully. Uh, One of the verses that we recite very frequently in the loving kindness verse is um, may all beings be free from anger, free from hostility, free from anxiety. And then the fourth wish is Sukhi Atanam Pariharantu, which means may they protect their own happiness, or may they take care of their own happiness. So this is what I think is very good for at every part of our practice, whether somebody is think of themselves as a beginner, or they're a very experienced meditator who's been following the teachings of the Buddha for many years, even decades. Uh, Nevertheless, if we remember to take care of our own happiness, then that's a very gentle and useful way to keep ourselves on the right track, uh, not to fall into uh, trying not to fall into some kind of a chronic state of being irritated or dull or depressed, uh, and not allowing ourselves to be so um, caught up with different kinds of goals or things that we're trying to accomplish, that we forget to look within and to be aware of our own state. So that's the idea. Then at the beginning stages, we can tell if we're getting it, if we're getting a hold of these teachings, if we see that kind of that ah now I can see it, uh, or something that gets let go of. Uh, if something seems to be a problem, and then looking with the eye of wisdom, uh, in terms of uh, this is not me, not mine, not myself, or this is impermanent. Uh, that somehow there's the light bulb comes on, and we say, "Oh, this doesn't have to be a problem. We can just make it not a problem." And what release into happiness is coming from that. One could say even that part of the Eightfold Path, which is concerned about right effort, is has to do with being able to distinguish between the wholesome dhammas and the unwholesome dhammas, the wholesome states of mind and the unwholesome states of mind. And how can we tell? It's because of being able to recognize this true happiness, which is not anything to do with greed or craving or attachment. This different different flavor of you could say true happiness, or what's for our real welfare. I can remember from many years when I was first starting to catch a hold of this, uh, that if I had done something that I was feeling remorse about, and I was sort of like in the process of trying to sweep it under the rug, or trying to ignore something that I really needed to take care of, and having a feeling, it was almost like a literal sensation of a darkness, or a kind of a cloud coming over me, and the mind just becoming more dark. It was like the cartoon figure of is it Linus? There was some cartoon character who very often had a rain cloud that would just hover right over his head, so that while others were enjoying the sunshine, he would be um, feeling feeling cloudy, and then uh, somehow having seeing the way to step out of that, and to take care of whatever it was that I had allowed to fall into my mind, seeing actually like an actual transformation, that the mind becomes bright. And this is how we can just start to um, uh, watch the ever-flowing, shimmering uh, 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 play of the different shades of Vedana that come along to us, the pleasant and unpleasant Vedana, and we can sometimes associate um, um, a bit of that um, brighter, pleasant Vedana that's got that characteristic of freedom and tranquility, and um, that calmness and brightness together, uh, uh, or that delight and joy, the delight in understanding and seeing things clearly, as being parts of this, something that's along in the area of this kind of true happiness. Uh, and if we notice it, if we realize that the Blessed One has advised us that the way to realize this path, the path and fruit, to realize the promises of what he's taught, to the way to realize liberation goes through these stages of happiness. Uh, for someone to be deep into painful suffering, and then to suddenly gain the insight into the Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, and the characteristics of existence, and to suddenly let go of craving to anything whatsoever in the world, and to realize their awakening, jumping from the commonplace, ordinary person's deep pain and suffering directly to uh, the noble state of awakening. I don't think so. I don't recall seeing that as being offered in the sutras as being the normal stages that we go through. Instead, there's this gentleness of this gradual training path that bit by bit the earlier stages of the path have the reward of ever evolving levels of true happiness and tranquility, which is creating a sort of like a zone of safety in which a person, why are we clinging to anything at all? We're clinging because we're afraid. We're in a painful existence and we're afraid of more pain, and therefore we're clinging and holding on. And if it's not safe for us to do so, we wouldn't be able to let go of what we're clinging to. So this gradual path of training, which is going through different behaviors that we can do, and noticing the happiness arising from those different states, is creating this zone of safety, this zone of freedom, this zone of trust and confidence in this path of training, so that then it becomes then not so scary to let go of what one was clinging to. And it seems to me that it would be for that reason that it's so important all along the pathway of uh, our practice, that we can give a proper appreciation and a proper credit for this pamoja, this gladness, this piti, which is the strong, uh, uh, extreme bliss that can be realized when one enters into samadhi and enters into meditation and experiences the actual seclusion from the full seclusion from sensual craving, in which all of those materialistic accomplishments and nutriments that we have spent so much of our life trying to accumulate, that all becomes irrelevant. And then, what a bliss it is. And then even as one may see along the stages of enlightenment, that some of the deep structures of craving that we've been carrying for so long come to be really dismantled. So, like seeing the self in the five aggregates, or any part or any combination of the five aggregates, that identification, the need to care and protect the five aggregates as if that was ourself, and we would be so sad and distressed if we had ourself and we lost it, or we had a self and then it came to be injured or broken somehow. To have that entire concept just blown away and not to return again, and feel what a tremendous security that would be, even just at stream entry, to fully know that all the misery connected with that uh, 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 view of a substantial self existing in any of the five aggregates, that when that's blown up and are really gone, oh, what freedom, oh, what bliss. And as well, then uh, stream entry is, they say it's 99% of the journey is stream entry. The Buddha said that if you considered, um, here, I dipped my finger in the tea, so consider the amount of, oh, that's bad, I got ink on that finger, so I'll try this one. Consider the amount of water that drop of water that just fell off my pinky, and consider the amount of water in all of the oceans and rivers and streams of the whole world. Which one is greater? Know the answer? Which one is greater? It's the water in all the oceans. And so that's how much dukkha you have lost when you get the stream entry. And you may have the happiness of knowing that you've gotten that close, that there's only this one drop of dukkha that's left for you for the remainder of the journey. I I gave my companion Ayya Vandana a sort of maybe a difficult assignment, which is to consider how the fully enlightened Arahant is the stage of peace, as it's explained in the Sutta on the Elements, wherein nothing can create a disturbance in the mind because nothing at all is being clung to. So the mind is completely undisturbed, completely peaceful, and one is therefore the sage of peace. I would like to invite you, if you'd like to say 2 words. It can be about anything at all, whatever comes to mind. Just, or else whatever you have to say about the topic I gave you before.
Uh, right now, nothing is coming in my mind about it. How to say? I mean, all of we are practicing to free from the sufferings, but sometimes it's even when we practice Dhamma, there's lots of sufferings coming. Even when we're practicing, and in the Dhamma also we can face so many difficulties, and we are like, okay, I'm practicing Dhamma to be from suffering, but even when I'm practicing Dhamma, even in the Dhamma there is a suffering. So it's like you're not suffering because of other people, you are suffering because you have expectations from other, and you're expecting like, okay, I'm practicing Dhamma, so some kind of magic should happen, and something like change like this quick, something like magic, just someone, I just heard the Dhamma and I'm changed. So it doesn't mean like you change, then the whole world change around you. It takes time, and that's why it takes a lot of time to be free from the sufferings, and it takes a lot of time to recognize what we are doing. And you know like when we take medicine, and the medicine have some kind of impact on our body, so we can see the changes in our body, and then we can say, oh, this this medicine is having some kind of impact on us. So if you feel the change in your body, so you can say, oh, is it good or is it bad? And then you decide, should I take that medicine again or not? So same in the Dhamma, when you're practicing and you're having suffering, so it means maybe you're going somewhere, because when you walk, definitely your feet gonna hurt some point, you know. You can't fly. Even if you fly, your your wings gonna hurt. So it's not like, okay, I want to walk, but I don't want to get hurt my feet. So if you ready to walk, then you should be ready to get hurt at any time and at any moment. You can say it. So it's not easy to follow the Dhamma also. Yeah, that's what I have. And I see people like they're finding so many difficulties. They have so many questions, and they find like, oh, I can't find any questions, the answer about what I have the questions. And I think you can't find the answer until you try to practice from the heart, you know, even you're doing even a little thing. But if you don't, you put all intention, your pure effect, efforts in that, you can't learn even how to ride a bike, you know, bicycle. So it's just how you see it, how much dedication you put, or how much efforts you put in some stuff to learn it. So Dhamma is also the same. It just depends on how much efforts you're putting and how much faith you have in yourself to walk on the path. That's all.
I'm allowing more time than usual now for conversation. I'd like to welcome if anybody who's in the room with us here tonight or anybody online can uh, have any comment about dukkha and the end of dukkha, uh, how we deal with the difficulties and challenges along this path, and how whether or not it's true that there is a certain kind of true inner happiness or true happiness that if that can be a sort of like a barometer uh, to help us to know if we're practicing, if our practice is bearing fruit. I'm going to call on Anagarika Mitakanti.
Yeah, I guess one thing that I guess I'm noticing over like years and years of practice is that it does seem like the mind becomes more flexible in how to respond to things. So sort of seeing that I'm able to like, for example, respond with compassion to something that I used to respond to with like negativity or maybe anger even. It's actually quite even if it's just like small things, that is quite like motivating, I think. But it's also like it is kind of like hard work actually to retrain all those habits. So there's definitely like some um striving and some painful feet in there. Yeah.
Any other comments, questions, or anything to report from your own experience? I see bunches of people with their cameras turned off. So if you'd like to speak, put the camera on. Here, I'm going to